Hey, I'm Jake with Magpul, and today we're going to be talking about the Magpul DAKA hard case. Now, we'll be talking about a few configurations, the C35, which is a 35-inch carbine case, and the R44, which is a 44-inch rifle case. So what are the benefits or the big differences between the cases? It's really in how you utilize them. They share a lot of the same features. They have the same size latches, handles, wheels. They're constructed of the same material, but it's really about is what case kind of fits your requirements. So the C35 will fit a 16-inch rifle with a collapsible stock and smaller. PDWs, SBRs, takedown 1022s, any gear that you need to stow in a compact case that obviously is smaller than 35 inches. Now, when it comes to width and depth, this case measures 16.6 inches wide and 5.5 inches deep. So I would definitely take that into consideration. However, because we pair all of our cases with a DAKA grid case organizer, you're really maximizing the internal space. So just have that and take that into consideration when purchasing one of our cases. When it comes to the R44, I would consider this your kind of workhorse 44-inch rifle case. This will accommodate two 16-inch rifles, bolt guns, anything within that 44-inch rifle case size. Its width is 17 inches and depth is 5.5 inches. So you can see they have a lot of the same characteristics. It's really just about length. Now, if you need anything beyond the R44, we will have a 53-inch long rifle case. It'll be called the LR53, and that will be perfect for long guns, competition-style shotguns, and that case will be coming soon. All of our cases, our hard cases, are made of gas charge polypro. Now, this allows it to be lightweight, structurally sound, and highly durable. Now, combine that with a DAKA grid organizational system on the inside, and we really feel that we've kind of created an optimized storage transport system for all of your gear, all of your sensitive items, firearms, tools, even in some case motorsports equipment. And this really is what I would consider the best bang for your buck. Now, beginning with the outside of the case, when you start looking at its actual physical features, we try to minimize the amount of hard edges or hard corners. Now, this does a couple of things for us. It allows us to create kind of less snags, which makes the case much more streamlined. So pulling the case in and out of vehicles. We also took all of its features, latches, handles, hinges, even the lock pass-throughs, and we tucked it as close as we could to the outside or the body of the case. That allowed us to keep everything really clean and smooth. Now, the corners are actually extremely important when it comes to the case. These are double-walled corners. Now, they do two things. Very durable, right? So this is really like a high impact zone, but also on the inside, when we crack the case open, you'll see that it gives us a little bit of storage space. So it just makes the case easy to use, and it's just another little piece of the pie that makes this case just great when it comes to internal organization. On the case, this includes the R44 and the C35. There are two main handles. They are kind of modeled after our pistol grip. So they're large. I have fairly large hands. They're easy to grip, comfortable to carry even when the case is loaded, and then also carrying at different angles. So this is really the same exact handle, but just on different locations. As you'll notice, when I put the handle up, it stayed up. And then when you put the handle down, it has a nice detent and it keeps the handle actually down and in the stowed position. So again, keeping everything tight and close to the case and reducing the amount of snag hazards. Now, you notice on the back side of the case, near the wheels, there is a recessed handle that's integrated into the base of the case. We did this for a few reasons. We wanted obviously it to reduce snag hazards, to keep the handle as tight as possible to the base of the case, but we also wanted to have the ability to stand the case vertically on its own. Now, this is extremely helpful when it comes to traveling. So just imagine you're standing in at TSA or you are wheeling the case onto an elevator. We see a lot of cases on the market that can't do this, and this allowed us to have this feature, which just increases usability of the case. So continuing on with the outside of the case, we know that people like to either strap their case down, whether it's to a bed rack, roof rack, or even in the back of a truck. So we provided the user with 2 strap recesses. It's really just a channel that allows your straps to live and nest so they're not sliding around on the top of the case. Now the wheels on the base of the case, you can see here, they have been recessed into the case. Again, that's allow the case to stand vertically like seen on the C35, but also on the R44. The wheels themselves are rubber overmolded. They do have ball bearings. We did this because, one, we wanted them to be reliable, long lasting. Also, we wanted to keep the sound signature down as much as possible. There's nothing worse than having loud wheels when you're trying to wheel this thing through an airport or carrying the case anywhere for that matter. You can see that we provided pen dot matrix on both the R44 and C35. Just another little gimme that gives you the ability to mark and identify the contents, or let's say this is Jake's case. I can clearly mark it right there. The hinges. So we did add a lot of material to them, and there are a couple of reasons. One is security. This is a place where you could damage the hinges by either prying on them and trying to enter the base of the case. So it was important that we added as much material here as possible without sacrificing the usability of the case. And by that, I mean we didn't want to create even more snag hazards as seen on other cases out on the market, keeping with that kind of streamlined overall aesthetic of our case. Not only does it provide more secure location for our hinges, but it allows us to stand the case up confidently, which is very important. We don't want to put the case down and have to really fish and try to find where the case is most stable. You can really just put the case down and move on from there, knowing that your gear is still protected and safe. Now we'll move to the bottom of the case where we have these large nesting lugs. Now the purpose of these is to have the ability to stack the case, but also have them stay in one location when they are stacked on top of each other. The lid of our case has a recessed area, and when you place the nesting lugs on top of each other, it kind of finds and locates where it needs to sit, and it stays in that location. So if you were to run ratchet straps over into the strap recesses and strap this thing down, you know that it's not going anywhere. On the R44 and the C35, we have 2 main latches. Now, when we looked at the case market as a whole, there were obviously some shortcomings when it comes to latches. And obviously between case companies, the latches differ widely. We wanted our latches to be easy to manipulate. We wanted them to be easy to open and close. And then also, we were trying to find a way that we could integrate the lock pass-through into the latch that would give us heightened security, and that would also allow us to reduce the amount of latches that we need. That's why we only see 2 on the R44 and on the C35. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is that the latches themselves are large. Each latch has a push button release that can be done with one hand. So I'll press down the latch, I'll pull up. The latch has a positive detent, so it stays in the open position. So you know that it's open and you know that it's going to stay open. Now, the latches also can be used as a handle to open the case. So there's no more fishing around kind of the lip of the case. You open the latch, you pull the latch open, it stays open, and then you can pull the case open. Closing the latch is very simple. It's a cammed latch, so you can press anywhere on the latch, and the latch has an audible click, and we know that it's closed and we know that it's locked. and the same thing on this side. So if I were to do it one more time, and I can press on the center of the latch, and you can see it still closes with ease. Each latch has a lock pass-through. The great thing about this, by integrating the lock pass-through into the latch, is that when a lock is passed through the latch, that you can no longer open the latch, securing both the latch and the case. We recommend that the latch or the lock has a 5/16 shackle and has a 1 to 1.5 interior clearance. So as you'll notice on the latches, there are 2 holes. These are used to either pass a zip tie or a Magpul supply Velcro strap through and secure the lock body to the case. This creates a more streamlined area, protecting not only your lock, but also the latch itself, and keeping your case closed and secured. So it's very easy. So you'll open the latch, you'll pass, in this case, one of the straps through the lock pass-throughs. Once it's passed through, you can close the latch, run the shackle through the hole, and there you have it. So we've secured the lock body to the case in a more streamlined way. So when we break the case open, the first thing that you're going to notice is that both the R44 and the C35 come with the DAKA grid organizer. Now, we supply all of our cases with the organizational system, and it was really the combination of the case, the updated features on the case, and optimizing the user experience with the case, and optimizing the internal organization of the case that really creates the best system that we feel that we could offer our consumers. Now, with the DAKA Grid case organizer, these are EPP foam panels and blocks. They are endlessly reconfigurable, very durable, and lightweight. So we have foam, a base foam, we have a lid foam, we have the actual panels, and then the grid blocks. Now, we have an assortment of blocks, but when you purchase, let's say, a C35 and R44, on the C35, you will get 6 triple blocks and 6 double blocks. On the R44, you'll get 8 triple blocks and 8 double blocks. On the C35, to have, let's say, SBR secured and be able to, let's say, cordon off at least a few accessory items. And on the R44, to fully cordon off and stow, let's say, 1 rifle or 2 standard ARs, and then some additional accessories. So with all the improved features of the case itself, improved latches, wheels, hinges, the added protection on the outside of the case, which gave us additional storage on the inside, the DAKA Grid case organizer, which obviously optimizes the internal storage, making it endlessly configurable. It's removable, lightweight, and really adds to the depth of what you can do with the case. We've really created a premium storage solution for all of your gear, your equipment, to include firearms, and even expanding beyond that. In the end, the entire system is just a better way to store and transport your most sensitive items.